Hey, I got up at 4 o'clock this morning and to finish a new book that I've been co-authoring with Dr. Jan Bonhoeffer. It's called Dear Hannah. I'll tell you a little about it in a minute. But I got up at 4 o'clock to work on it. I did my sitting practice till about 4:40. Then I did the last couple of chapters in this book. I finished at 8:34 this morning. It's a big deal because Jan Bonhoeffer, who's a pediatrician, professor of pediatrics at the University Hospital in Basel in Switzerland. We've been working together for several years. He came to Nevada City here on July 9th. He arrived. July 10th, we started to work together, and we said, we were talking about a book, and we said, well, how about we came up with an idea for a book. How about we do this kind of book? Okay, we'll do this kind of book. So we went to the river that day. So the river's this big canyon. We went and sat on the hot rocks in the sun, and we talked through this book with a little recorder, recording ideas for the book. That was July 10th, and now it's August 29th, and this morning at 8:34 I finished writing the book, which we co-authored together. So anyway, that was quite a marathon to go from July 10th, no book at all, not even an idea, to manuscript finished August 29th. It's a beautiful book, actually. I'll tell you. It's called Dear Hannah, and it's letters that Dr. Bonhoeffer is writing to his goddaughter, who is 25, who is just starting her residency in the hospital, on basically wishing her well in a different way of doing medicine than he was subjected to when he went through his residency. It's about bringing more heart into medicine. But anyway, what I wanted to share with you is the importance, when you complete anything, of really overtly, deliberately, and hugely to create a time of celebration. My wife, Shamli, and I, we're going to do some major celebrating in the next days. Celebrating is an important thing. You know, it can seem like, oh, just celebrating, you know, what does it do? It actually does a lot. Because when you're focusing on a deadline like this, I've been working on this book like 14 to 16 hours a day for the last, 2 weeks at least. And before that, I was working on it intensively as well. But I've really had to do a push to have it ready for the Heart-Based Medicine Conference coming up next month, September 12th to 14th. So when you're pushing like that, you get a dominance of the parasympathetic nervous system, which means that you start to overlook symptoms of what your body needs. You overlook the need for rest, to go to the bathroom, to eat. All of those things get ignored. You just push, and it's how a lot of people live. In this driven push way, forgetting to eat, forgetting to take care of yourself, but also forgetting to listen to your emotions. So when you stop, there is a parasympathetic flooding, and this can sometimes bring up feelings of regret, can even be like shame, like for no reason. Can bring a sort of almost like a postpartum depression. You finish this project, but now you just feel like, oh, hangdog. And that's quite natural. It's because all the symptoms that have been pushed down now come to the surface. But you can, to some degree, recontextualize that by celebrating. Celebrating is a way of saying, oh, you push yourself hard, but you're a great person. Yay, you did it. Yay. It's like giving yourself a big pat on the back and encouraging as many other people as possible to give you a pat on the back too. Celebration is the way that we can integrate the completion. If you don't celebrate it, the sympathetic nervous system dominance and the parasympathetic suppression can continue, and then you just look for another project and another project to keep pushing forward with, because you're actually looking for that endorphin rush of completion. So I'm going to be celebrating wildly the next days. I would invite you to celebrate with me now. In fact, I'd be very grateful if in the comments section below if you would say something nice and congratulatory and help me feel good about completing this book. Like, congratulations, because it's really great to celebrate, to praise yourself, to when other people say, oh, great job, go, yeah, it was, not to downplay it, to really let yourself feel like $1 million when you finish something, because it's very important for the nervous system to have that feeling of, yay. It actually allows you to move through the brilliance cycle back through there is a kind of humility to it. You know, I mean, even though you're celebrating, there is a kind of innocence to it. But you move back through celebrating back into moments of awakening again, and then you're ready for another creative cycle. So I'm celebrating, and I hope you're celebrating your victories too.